thank you for joining us. And I'm really excited today because we have a super special guest. Her name is Elise Dumo. She is a graduate from St. Francis University in Pennsylvania. She played Division I volleyball, and she is a social media superstar, a phenomenal personality, and has tons of followers right now on TikTok. She has over 200,000 followers to her page, and I just wanted to thank you so much for joining us. I know that your schedule is really busy.
Yeah, Nikki, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on today. And a little bit about my volleyball story. I started playing volleyball when I was 11 years old. I played at the local clubs in the area. I was very tall when I was very young, but I stopped growing when I was like in 8th grade. So all the girls got way taller than me. I started as a middle and didn't grow an inch after that. So I moved my way from middle to right side, then to outside, then to 6 rotation outside, then to DS libero. I was recruited to play 6 rotation pin hitter at St. Francis. My recruiting process, it started my freshman year of high school, and that was back in the day when you could call coach up and just have a conversation, you know, and that was really how it started. My club, they were very adamant us to make an Excel sheet of all of the schools we even thought of that we might want to go to. And so there was obviously your top 5 like dream schools, and it was a lot of the schools in the Big Ten, you know, like all that, the SEC, like these big schools that might not be an actual possibility, but who knows, dream big. Like schools that have the, like specifically have the programs that you want, schools that are in the area that you like. So I created this giant list, and I emailed them, and some schools would email my coach, and that's how we would interact. But mainly they said, you need to call these coaches. And so what I would do is it was very stressful. It was very stressful as a freshman in high school to call these coaches as a 14-year-old girl. And like, you see these big like things and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I even say to these people? What I would do is I'd look up their athletics directory, and I would call them, I would get on the phone. And I remember I was so nervous. I would just be pacing. Like that's what I would do. Like while I was talking, coaches were always so nice, so respectful. And I always led with, I'm a 2016 graduate, I'm a 6 rotation pin hitter, but I can also play DS libero, I'm 5'9", these are my stats, are you looking for my position in this year? And they'd say yes, and you keep talking, and they say no, and you say, well, great, thanks. Eventually their schools would come off the list, you'd have to replace them with new ones, and a lot of my teammates were committed by their sophomore year of high school, and that's not really possible now, but back then, like, we had girls 8th grade, 9th grade. Like those were the teams that I was playing on, where these girls were 6'5", 6'3", and they were really big recruits. And I was just the other person on the team. So I didn't really get a lot. I got looks, but not really the looks that like my teammates were getting. So I really let that discourage me for a while. And I started shooting a lot lower, not really believing in myself, like schools that I was very interested in, that I thought like that had very competitive programs, I didn't reach out to because I was too scared for rejection. But in reality, like, you know, like it's really about the fit for you. And so what happened was I was at the end of my junior year, I narrowed it down to a couple of schools. I had some offers here and there, D3, some D1 conversations coming to a close. And I had a dream school, like my dream school. I visited there my freshman year, and it was my dream school ever since then. And I went on a lot of visits, and I'll talk, and like, so I went on visits, I'm on the East Coast. So I went on a lot of visits up and down the East Coast near Virginia, some more in the central kind of area. Mainly that was just like out of building a relationship with these coaches, eventually be like, can I come for a visit? And they'd set up an itinerary, or they would ask me to come for a visit, depending on how interested they were. And my mom would take me out, and we would just walk around, go see all the fun stuff, go get college gear that we didn't need and threw away after I committed, because you can't go everywhere, so don't buy all the college gear at those places. But it was really great, and it really helped me understand what I liked, what I didn't like. I know a lot of people say, oh, I just got on campus and I knew. And for some people that is true. And I would say those people are very lucky. But for me, I was never there. I didn't really, that one school where I got on campus, I said, I'm in love with this coach. I'm in love with this facility. I'm in love with this school. I'm in love with this atmosphere. I want to be here. And I never thought that it was possible. It was one of those schools that I didn't even bother talking to because it was like so far. Like my team went on a visit, and like a girl on my team was talking to them. She ended up going somewhere else, but a coach that I knew ended up being the recruiting coordinator at that school, and she had coached me my 16s year. And I texted her and was like, "Hey, like, what's up?" And so she showed the head coach, and life really is about who you know. Like, I hate to say it, but like it is. And which got like my video kind of to the top of the list. Was I the best DS libero? No, like definitely not. But they took me around campus, and I loved it. And there was a big misconception about what the coach had said to me. My mom and I left with the impression that the coach said she was going to offer me in 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, all my other schools were like, we need to know yes. And this was the end of my junior year. Like, we need to know yes or no. Which was like, well, like all my other schools. And I was like, well, my dream school's about to offer me a spot. Like, and it was a walk-on, but I was like, I'll go into debt for this. I don't care. And it ended up not swinging my way. It was very sad. I cried a lot. 3 years of recruiting process work. I just told a ton of schools no. Like, what am I going to do? Say never mind, you know? Like, it's the end of junior year. And in that, like, sadness, I was like, Mom, can you just, like, send an email out to all the schools that are going to be at this tournament? Like, I can't. You should always send your own emails. Always make your own phone calls. Coaches don't want to talk to your parents for the most part. You're going to be an adult. And, like, when you get there, you're going to be an adult. And my mom, she sent an email to St. Francis, the coach there. My older brother went there, and I like was like, whatever, like I didn't think anything of it. And then after like the first match of that tournament, my coach is like, the coach from St. Francis is interested in you. And I was like, great, Mom, you sent that email. But like I went, and it wasn't like the magical moment on campus because I'd been there before to go see my brother. But it was just like, it was the best option for me. I knew I wanted to do something with Spanish. I wanted to major in Spanish. And all the other schools that I had offers from that were outstanding still, St. Francis had the best financial option for me. I got a full ride. Francis like had really, really great study abroad opportunities, and I love traveling. So that's what made me pick it. The team was really nice, and like volleyball, I love volleyball, but like I love what I'm studying. I love my professors, and at the end of the day, that's why you're going to college, because like you're going to prepare yourself for after volleyball, because it will end for everybody.
And what I love about watching your videos and your different social media channels is that you bring so much humor to it, and you're very real about your experiences, but you also bring in so much positivity. And I think that is probably why you have so many followers that are attracted to you.
My platform on TikTok, and especially very specifically my platform on YouTube, which I really try to streamline specifically to my athletics, because TikTok is also just kind of like my life going on, and then volleyball stuff in there as well. I really try to focus on how far hard work can get these girls. I was never the tallest girl. I was never the most talented player. And I never thought that I'd be good enough to be able to play Division I, let alone play Division I on a scholarship. And really what I learned through my volleyball career, through my recruiting process, was the only reason that I got to where I was because I was working so hard, and I wanted to work harder than everyone around me. And a lot of people just see these girls in these big coliseums and stuff, and they say, I'm never going to get there. And it's, no, you can get there, but you need to put in more work than everybody else, and you need to be willing to do it. And it's really, why are you doing it? And so that's kind of what I do try to focus on a little bit. And even coming in with the body image part of it, like that was even before volleyball. I was in middle school and high school, I was so insanely insecure in my body. But like, what girl isn't, you know? Like, I'm not going to act like that's unique to me, because every girl struggles with body image. But that was really what my root was of why I actually started working so hard in the first place. Volleyball was a really great way for me to be a part of the team, and I love the sport. But actually all the working out that I did outside of volleyball was really just an unhealthy obsession with having a certain type of body image, which was I'm very, I wouldn't say stocky, but like I'm very muscular, and I've always had muscular legs. I've always had very thick thighs, and I was on teams with girls who were 6'2", and they were very slender and could be on a runway, you know, and I was constantly comparing, especially those girls were middles and I used to be a middle. It's like, well, I should look like that. And it was just so, I was giving myself unrealistic expectations and not looking at myself as an athlete, but trying to get myself to look a certain way.
How important it was for you as a pin hitter to really develop that 6 rotation skill of ball control, serve, receive, and defense.
Yes, 100%. Passing, ball control, volleyball IQ is probably, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think one of the biggest things that college coaches look for. And mainly because, well, for one, like a college coach, and what made me very recruitable, but also kind of hard to recruit, was I've played everything besides setter. I could go anywhere on the court. So that tells a coach that if Sally's injured, well, Dumo can, that was my name, but like Dumo can come in for her and play right side because she's done it for years, you know? Sure. And like, that's great. But with passing, a lot, and I want to say a lot of middles, I have a lot of friends who went and played at big programs as middle, or got recruited as middles, and then were switched to outside. And the thing is, like, if you're outside, like, well, you don't want to be the same as a middle and just only be able to play those first 3 rotations. Like, you want to play in the back row too, because you're a pin, right? And like, it's kind of like the motivation of like, okay, well, how long do you want to be on the court? And because it's really, you can earn your spot to be all the way around if you show that you have a good volleyball IQ, if you can serve receive. And I think serve receiving, in my opinion, is one of the hardest parts of the game, because it is so mental. And if you can get a middle who can serve receive, like, you're golden to a coach. Yep. Golden to a coach. And so I realized that when I was talking to college coaches back when I was a right side, so I hadn't even gone back row yet, because I was a middle for 3 years, and then I went to right side, and I said, yeah, I'm a right side, and coaches were like, okay, well, are you cool with playing DS libero at here? Because he's like, you're 5'9", like, unless you're touching 10, you're not playing front row here. And I was like, oh. So then I started learning to be a DS libero, and I see a lot of people on my TikTok comments and in my Instagram DMs that ask, like, well, what about my height? Like, should I switch this, switch that? And I think really the big ask is, if you know the game of volleyball and you have good, solid skills and you're coachable, a coach wants you on their team. I love playing outside, and like, but do I love playing outside more than I love the idea of possibly being on a Division I team? Like, that was like what was weighing, because I could have been 6 rotation at D3 school, easy. Sure. But like, I wanted to play D1 because that was just what my goals were. Not because it's better, but that's just like my own goals, you know? So yeah.
What would you say to those that maybe don't have lifting programs in their clubs and they're getting ready to play at the collegiate level?
Growing up with club, we were always told that you cannot start lifting until you're 14. Like, that was the magic age. 14, you're not lifting. And so when I turned 14, the first club that I was a part of had a like outside personal training kind of organization come in, and there was a weight room in our facility, and so they would lift with us and they would teach us. They're very robust, no, but they were definitely good ways for trainers to teach girls how to lift and kind of be safe. But most of my lifting I did on my own. The stuff I did at home, and that was a lot of body weight exercises. That was a lot of push-ups, a lot of air squats, a lot of wall sits, box jumps. My dad, I'm very fortunate. My dad, he's like made me a box, so I had 3 different heights, so I could do box jumps. Lots of jump roping. I did a lot of running, not too far, like 2 miles max, but running, sprint intervals. And the thing is, it's really hard to kind of be motivated, like, especially when no one's around you. You don't have coaches kind of holding you accountable, but like, coaches can tell, college coaches, club coaches, they can tell who those athletes are that put in the work when no one's looking. And I think, and like that, for me, it was just like, I was so terrified of the concept of not playing Division I volleyball. Like, I wanted the reason that I didn't make it to Division I volleyball not be because I didn't work hard enough, but because of the coaches, if that made sense. Like, I was like, I'm going to work so hard that like I can look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day and be like, I gave it everything that I had, like
Sure.
within like my own body's capacity, but I didn't give up. And like in college, it is so apparent, like so apparent who really takes the workout seriously and who doesn't, and who trains over the summer and who doesn't. Like coaches will normally give you a workout plan. If you get a workout plan, the quickest way for you to have a bad impression on your coach, for your coach to not, I don't say not like you, but like you're going to make a bad impression on your coach, you're going to make a bad impression on your teammates, and you're going to be really, really tired, like, which is also like makes you feel super hopeless if you're super, super tired and everyone's frustrated at you if you don't do those workouts that the coach gives you. And I recommend, like, there's nothing wrong with sprint intervals. And I will say that till the day the cows come home, because that there's so much, like, I remember our fitness test was a sprint. Had girls come in who obviously didn't do it, and immediately our coach was just like, no. And everyone was frustrated because you wouldn't get your gear until you'd finished it, and like everyone was kind of frustrated about it. And it really is, it's for your own good. Like if you want to, what's the word? If you want to play college ball, but you don't want to put the work in, then why do you want to play college ball? Is it because you want the jersey and you want to be on the billboard? Or is it because you love the game and you want to be a part of the team and you want to work hard for them? Because like everyone wants to have all the followers. Everyone wants to play on TV. But if you don't want to put the work in for it, then I'm sorry, then you don't deserve to be a part of that team. And like, that might sound harsh, but like, it really is how it is. It's a business, like college sports in general. And if you really need to think about why you're doing it, like why you want to be on the court, why you're working so hard. And it's a blessing to play. Mm-hmm. It really is. And also my last part about this big tangent is it's for like injury prevention. Like, so there's so many girls who love the game of volleyball that I saw everywhere. But because they weren't taking care of their bodies, eating right, they weren't stretching, they weren't pushing their bodies outside of practice. So when they got to practice, they were like mentally drained from school and physically drained from practice. They got hurt. And I don't want to be like, oh, because I lifted so much and because I worked out so much. I've never had an injury from volleyball. I was never sat out. The only injury I got was I dislocated my pinky my senior night game, and I still came back on and played the rest of the set. But that was my only injury, and I really think it was because I worked out so much and my body was so familiar with what to do when I was under a ton of physical stress. I never had to worry about it.
And let's get real here, because it is a business. And when you're on your college recruiting visits and you're on the phone call with college coaches, they're so sweet, they're so nice, and they probably are, right? Truly. But when you get on campus, you have a job to do, right? They're paying you to play volleyball and win games for them, because their jobs depend on their win-loss record. So if you're not producing and you're not coming in prepared, they will recruit over you very quickly. So each year they're going to have new recruits coming in, and you got to continue to fight for your position, even senior year, right?
Yeah.
And then also, I just wanted to make mention too, I've got seniors getting ready to go into college. They're actually packing their bags as we speak, getting ready to move into their dorms. And the hardest part of each season in college is your preseason of each year. You've got 2-a-days, 3-a-days, weightlifting sessions. I mean, you're going all day, every day. And it's just so important for athletes to make sure that they're prepared during those summer months leading into their first season of college. So I really appreciate the advice and the things that you brought up.
Volleyball has changed my life. It has, the recruiting process alone, just talking to college coaches, taught me how to interact with adults in a world where most of our people our age are not talking on the phone. And now I can, in the business world, corporate world, I can talk to big government people, and I'm not scared because I talked to a college coach when I was 14, you know? Right. It taught me time management. I was very, I'm very fortunate to say that I graduated college as a double major in 3 years with a 4.0 GPA. And that is 100% because of volleyball, because my coaches at a young age taught me how to work hard and how to manage my time. The coaches that like poured into me, it taught me a lot about servant leadership. It taught me how important it is to pour into the girls that come after you, because I would not have played in college if a coach did not say, I think you're really talented. We're going to find you a place to play at. That's not a question. You will play in college. And if if a coach didn't say that to me, I would never have even thought that I could. So it gave me a free education to play, like, for college, which is crazy. Now my fiance and I can start a much more financially stable life together than we would have if I had student loans. Volleyball has just blessed me so much beyond measure, and I can't even fathom like what my life would have been like if I had picked soccer instead, you know. It's really just been such a blessing, and I really, really can't wait to just like give back to people that are in front of me, you know, because I do it a lot over TikTok and over YouTube, but I'm hoping to find like a good group of girls that I can invest in, help train, and kind of help be a good role model person to put them in line, make them do sprints, make them faster, you know. That'd be really, really cool.
A lot more about you than volleyball. It's not your life. It's a part of your life. And I think that's what's impressed me so much about you. You're an artist. You have a business selling your artwork, and plenty other things about you. Can you please share a little bit more before we close out tonight?
Yeah, of course. So like you said, volleyball is not my life. It's a part of my life, but it is not my entire life. I am very, very passionate about the Spanish language. That was my major in college. I love traveling. Currently, I'm a government contractor, or a consultant is my technical job title, in downtown Washington, D.C.
Wow.
But it's very exciting. And I am getting married in September. I'm moving down to Virginia Beach.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's like the Halo post. This is my fiance's Halo poster behind me. I don't play Halo. And yeah, so I have my art business on Etsy where I make commissions for people, and then I sell digital copies of those commissions, which has been a really, really great blessing. I'm hoping that can kind of turn into something that's like a great like little supplement to income. I'm also starting a wedding videography venture. I filmed my last wedding, for my first wedding, my best friend's wedding, and then it got really big, and I might be like an independent contractor for like a wedding company, and I'm filming an elopement tomorrow, and I'm like super excited. So I just love creativity, making videos, and so that is, and obviously fitness. And so I am hoping to become a certified personal trainer soon, try to get into the volleyball world once again as a trainer or coach or something, just because it's like, I love it too much to just like abandon it forever. So what that's going to look like, I have no idea. I'm just kind of focusing on getting married first, but then after that.
I'm just honored that you've given me the opportunity to learn more about you and share with my followers. And if you wouldn't mind, if you just want to tell us where we can find you on social media, that would be great.
Yes, you guys can find me, Elise Dumo, anywhere on the internet is always going to be me, because no one has that username. So Elise Dumo on Instagram, TikTok, also on Spotify. I'm not a musician, but I have a playlist that has really good hype, like EDM music, which is electronic dance music, like rave music. It's good music that you can play like at your practices and like in a workout gym, and you don't need to worry about cuss words and stuff. So you can find me on there. And then on Etsy for my art is Salo Rose Studios. And yeah, there's a link down below to that if you don't know how to spell that.